Around 6 years. Yes.
What do you do with the dentist statue?
The what?
The dentist statue.
What's the dentist statue?
I guess you said dentists went out of town and you had like you're not used to like sleeping in the bed alone. So you made like
I made a.
maybe I'm following the wrong investing.
No, there's only two of us. I'm not, I'm thinking I made a fake father when I was a kid, but you're not thinking that book.
No.
Where is it? What is it?
No, it wasn't in here. It was
Oh.
you updated the story.
Oh! What did I say in there?
Town, they knew that you were evil ways and you weren't used to sleeping in a bed alone, so you made some sort of like carbon copy of him.
Oh, I must have been kidding. I didn't remember that. And I didn't even know how to spell carbon, so I didn't say carbon. No, I just, Twitter's fine. I like it. I rambled, so no, I don't know what that was. But all I could think was, when here I look at your face, I want to say this, and I'm thinking, these people won't even know who I'm talking about. She's an old dead actress, Katharine Hepburn, had some. Oh, okay. Well, then you'll probably know the second part because I don't. Had some bust made of a famous actor guy she was in love with. What was his name? He had a girl's name. What? Tracy. Yes, that's what Tracy Lynn said. Didn't she have a bust made of him? Yeah. Okay. What? Yes. Was it hard for me to make a decision to be honest with running the scissors? No, what happened was I had found an agent for my little novel Television, and he had sold it. And I didn't really have another idea for a novel at all. I didn't really have any other writing. I had my journal thing, And I thought, well, I should give this new agent my journal because the writing is so different. I mean, that's the writing that I do every day, all day, and I have forever. Television was very different because it was like I had a narrator. So it was harder, a little tiny bit harder to keep that and not slide into me. So I wanted him to read that writing and just see, look, is this style of writing? Because I'm lazy. I mean, really. Anything I could ever use. And so he said, he read it, and it took a while for him to read it, But and it was long enough for me to think, what kind of fool gives his brand new agent his diary? What kind of fool am I to do that? What's that from a song, right? From the old days. Robert Goulet. Remember him? Old people, where are the old people? Yeah. What kind of fool am I? Isn't that a lyric from a song? Anyway, he said, why didn't you give this to me first? And it's like a book. So anyway, he sold that to my publisher, which was strange. I mean, I'd never considered write on myself, nonfiction. I didn't know the words. Someone had to tell me it's called narrative nonfiction. What's not a novel, okay. It's like, people don't know those words. So they bought it, and I was so surprised that they bought my journal that I said, well, God, you like that? You want me? I should tell you, I had a really hideous, weird, screwed up childhood. And they said, what happened? So when I wrote that, I didn't ever think about people reading it. That's so abstract to me. I thought about writing it, going back and writing it. And then I thought about the actual book being published. But here's the thing, too, is that they knew that it just wasn't the kind of book that was going to sell. I knew that. I mean, I hadn't been in publishing, but I was in advertising for a long time. I kind of knew people aren't going to want to read this story. So they didn't publish many copies. And while I was waiting, I was downloading applications to community colleges because I was still in advertising, but I couldn't do it anymore, no more. And so that was what was going to happen. So after my first event, which was in New York City, and there were people there. I mean, it was a small bookstore, but it was crowded, and I was so nervous and freaked out that I had no brain operating that night. It was muscle memory, purely. How did I take these peas? I'm going to try to not use the word that letter. Then I went to LA, and in LA I had an unfortunate amount of time before I had to go and read. And that's when I realized this is just the biggest mistake I have ever. This is horrible.